you weren't entirely sure that was going to happen on the get-go. It comes in so quickly and hard, and it's crazy. It made me laugh.
Yes.
But
yes.
yeah,
and then 10 seconds later, you're listening to Misty's voice.
Yes, exactly. And the professor's pissing off to Vegas, just leaving 2 kids alone in his lab for some reason. 90s logic. I love it.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. You well?
No.
No. Wow, that even had your voice was breaking. I feel
it's quivering. It's
why?
Just I'm tired.
You're tired.
I'm so tired.
Tired from all the awesome games you've been getting? No. you wish.
I
right?
will never be tired from awesome games. No, tired. We were finally able to bring the twins home from the hospital.
Yeah, so you're not just tired.
Upping our kid count to 4.
Yeah, you've almost got that 5-a-side football team. But yeah, shame. Like I said, 2 kids out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, sorry. I'm pretty sure you knew they were coming.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden.
I'm sure everybody out there who's listening to this understands, who are parents, I might add, understands the level of tired you're actually talking about. This isn't just normal tired. This is incredible. This is insane.
It is insane. We've raised 2 wonderful boys, and now we're bringing home twins. I have forgotten how tiring it is. This level of tired. We slept. I don't even think we slept a couple of hours. It's incredible. I'm not here to complain though.
It's just full blown zombie mode for the next.
Yes, it is. It is. So I guess that's why I'm so grateful when we get to review a game like this week's game. It's not I can just switch off.
Yes.
I don't need to think. I don't need to discuss overt philosophical ideologies. Oh yes, yes, Norman Reedus. The rain does make you age.
That's true. This is.
I could just grab my stun bat and my net.
So, yes. So, ladies and gents, if you didn't guess, there was a slight hint there from Nick having to raise his little monkeys. He's going to play a game about little monkeys. Today's game is Ape Escape 2.
Yes.
Which is crazy because I'd heard of it and you'd heard of it, but neither of us had ever played it.
No. And I recognize the monkeys.
Yeah, same.
I know. Are they iconic? They're somewhat recognizable.
I agree. Well, granted, there was a few years ago, this game, when it released, was popular enough that it actually got a animated series for TV. And
What?
Yeah, it really did.
What?
The Catching of the Monkeys had a 1-season animated series, which I don't think I watched. Yeah.
Well, you just catch monkeys.
I guess you're either following Jimmy or the character beforehand. I don't know what his name was. It was that popular. It got a TV series.
Whoa.
And,
after the first game or second game?
No, the first one, I believe.
Wow.
The first one blew it out the water, so to speak.
Wow.
I cannot believe that I'd never, I'd heard Ape Escape, and I looked at the premise, and I thought, oh, well, it's just, I don't know, apes escaping.
It's a game about monkeys.
Yeah, it didn't sound great. I was thinking, Super Monkey Ball. That's just
same.
I'm guessing something like that.
Got those two confused.
But to my surprise, I'm kind of upset that I didn't know this when I had a PlayStation 2. Right?
I totally get that. I think everyone listening to this who knows Ape Escape 2, they're thinking, oh yeah, this game is synonymous with PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
it's such a PlayStation 2
game. I can picture me going to Blockbuster Videos, and I used to rent my games from there every once in a while, and I can guarantee you that game was on the shelf, and I never picked it up, and I am disgusted with the young version of myself.
Well, you didn't know. What game did you rent?
Oh, I either just kept renting like Final Fantasy games, but of course had to bring them back after 2 days, so it was fairly pointless.
Yeah, you almost completed the tutorial.
Yeah, exactly. And I used to rent a game called Monster Rancher, which I don't think you probably ever heard of.
No.
It was also an animated series at one point. It's
of course it was.
It's a Japanese kind of Tamagotchi-esque raising. You raise monsters and fight them, kind of Pokemon, Tamagotchi type aspects to it. But yeah, I usually loved that as a kid. But anyway, Ape Escape.
I didn't have a PS2 growing up. My first console ever was the Nintendo Wii, and then after that the PS3. I wish I had a PS2. All of my friends had PS2s, but we were too poor. So sad. So we never had a PS2.
Well, like I said, my story sounds fun, but we only rented games, so we weren't the richest in the world.
Yeah. This feels like such a PlayStation 2 game.
No,
right?
You're exactly right. It's got the retro, it's got the feels, it's just got the comfort. There's some games that you play just for the comfort of them and the fun, just plain fun, just fun, not deep, not hardcore, not difficult. Just
some of them
over
are
the top and fun.
Easy, right? Your Ratchet and Clank, your Jak and Daxter, your Sly Raccoon.
Right.
For some people, it's San Andreas and Vice City.
Yeah, of course.
But this should be up there. I don't know why it isn't. Is it because the premise is just you're catching monkeys?
I can only figure that's it. I can figure even me at that age when this came out, I don't want to just catch monkeys. That sounds dumb, right? That's dumb. Stupid. I want to be a crime lord. I want to go through the scenes of movies in Vice City.
I want to stop the Earth from exploding.
Yeah, exactly. Not just catch monkeys. Come on, that's boring. Ooh, we couldn't have been more wrong.
Right? Yeah.
I cannot get over how much fun this game was. I was shocked as a 30-something old man how much fun this game is. I was like, damn.
I didn't play a ton of this game, but I wanted to play more of it. But fun definitely is... That was definitely in the ethos of the developer while they were making this game. Is they wanted to make a fun game. And I think they succeeded.
Agreed. I also, when you were playing it, did you not get Super Mario 64 vibes from it? I had
I guess so, yeah.
You know when you're exploring levels in that game and you go around every corner to
now I get what you mean.
Jump on that platform and go to the back of it. Yeah, it had those same vibes. Okay, it's
You're
not as
right.
cool as Mario
They
64.
gave you a level and there was stuff around every corner.
Yeah, and the freedom and go underwater and you find an area you could swim into, which is open to another area and stuff like that. It had, for me, it did have that comfy Mario 64 vibe going with it.
Oh, you're right.
Down for it was great. Anyway, should we jump straight into narrative then?
Let's. I don't think the narrative would be the biggest part of this review, but there is something there.
The first thing that got to me was just child abandonment was the very first part. You play Jimmy, and you're in a lab where the professor, that's his name, he goes away on holiday and leaves his granddaughter Natalie and Jimmy to watch over the lab.
Yeah.
Let me point out, he goes on holiday to Vegas. You see him later with his arms full of chips and just money and stuff. So he leaves his two, 12-year-old kids to look over the lab and to do a job for him. Yeah. Teleporting pants to the local monkey park.
Yes.
Using a teleporter, right?
That's it. Just teleporting pants.
Yeah, that's the easiest for some kids to do. Come on. I've got my tickets to Vegas. We're going to go to strip clubs, go gambling. Yeah, I'll just leave this to the kids to do. Okay, inevitably goes wrong. Some super special helmets go with the pants somehow. I didn't really see that. And the apes grab the pants for some reason. I don't really get why they wore the pants.
Well, they grab the pants. I'm thinking they, are trained to grab their pants because that's part of the actual process.
Yes, I guess.
I don't know.
True.
I don't know. It doesn't matter either.
Yeah, exactly. And then they get out. They've escaped.
Oh no!
You didn't see that coming, right?
Oh no! The apes have escaped for the second time.
And then it's your job to scoop them all up and take them back home, but there is an evil ape called
That's
Spectre.
the thing. That's where the plot thickens. Because
Yes.
there's a big, evil, smarter, slightly racist white ape.
Yes, it's cool. I love it was called Spectre as well, because I had just instant vibes of James Bond. Like, the bad guy was called Spectre.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, yeah, that's okay. I've heard this before.
Yeah.
And
That
he is
monkey has got it's got one eye.
Yeah, I know,
And
right?
he's
Instead of
always
scar.
angry or scowling.
Yeah, it's a cliched character type trope, but I do love it. I love the idea he's just he's lost an eye through battle, or even the first game potentially.
Yes.
I believe it could be the same bad guy.
And then you just kind of realize before he put on that helmet, he was just a dumb white monkey.
Yes, I believe that is the case.
Now he put on the helmet and he Kaiser Sosade
yeah, just slowly
into
walks
the
away,
leader of
super
the
smart.
monkey resistance.
Yeah, and he feeds other monkeys special, super powerful bananas because they exist for some reason.
I don't think any of this matters. Of course they exist.
Of course.
This game is supposed to be goofy and fun and funny.
And let's say this game is aimed at, say, young teenagers, fundamentally, right? It is aimed. So the story isn't going to be... The story has its moments. Hell, Spectre has a moon base.
Yes.
Somehow he has a base on the moon.
Yes, and he's got a higher tier henchman.
Yeah, right.
That go after you.
He's somehow been funded. Somehow he's built things. You know, that's one smart monkey.
There's one smart monkey.
No doubt about it. And yeah, like I said, the story, as you said before, it's not really the point. The point is we need a reason for apes to have escaped, and now you need a reason to scoop them up again. That's fundamentally all the game is.
Yeah, you
But
need to catch all these apes for they have escaped. You need to stop Spectre's henchmen, who are now bosses in levels. It's a very cut and dry game design.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun and creative. It might seem like just a dumb premise. Oh, I'm catching monkeys. But it's fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking the same thing. Me just saying that, the narrative to people listening right now, they're going to think, well, that's pretty simple. That's like mobile gaming level of narrative. Like that sounds
and
stupid.
they'd be right.
They would. This game still is, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot say it enough. PlayStation 2 games, lots of the older games, they aged poorly, and sometimes they just don't work anymore. But playing this game was just fun. Like, I haven't had old school fun like that in years.
Yes.
And this one just ticked all the boxes. It was crazy.
Yes.
It made me smile whilst playing it. Just the little bits made me smile. Should we jump straight into visuals then? Because narratively, that's basically it.
Let's. I don't think we can talk about characters. They aren't really characters. Natalie and Jimmy are funny. The professor's super irresponsible.
Yeah.
But there's no real characters there.
No, correct.
Let's go visuals.
What did you think visually then?
I think it's creative. I think it's so creative. You'd spend 5 minutes in a level and keep going from level to level to level to level. And they're different levels each time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not just the level design, but the monkeys as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, you go to Spain at one point. You go to a factory, a big old factory with really annoying puzzle sections.
Did you think in a game called Ape Escape, you'd go to the moon?
That's what I mean. That's that same level of what I meant from like Mario 64.
Yeah.
Where each world you go through, it's always a big flip. It's always the fire level or then underwater bit or this had the same thing. Each level was always like completely different than the last, and required in this case different gadgets to kind of go through or play with to be able to proceed through the level. And that was the most fun. The idea that each place you went just was a different, completely fish out of water aspect when you went to each area.
And I
there
like
was so many places. Yeah, it was great.
I mean, at the start, after each level, they'd give you a gadget train you on this gadget, and then just plop you in the level to play the game.
Yes, correct.
Right, I'm sorry, I know that's gameplay, but I like the way they incorporated the visuals, how each level looked, how it was designed. I enjoyed the creativity in the visuals for these games. No, and the monkeys as well. They're not just monkeys, but they look distinct.
And they all have like little distinct characteristics, don't they? There's a monkey that plays a matador with like a cape that you have to try and catch. There's monkeys that are like robotic in their movements. There's fast monkeys. There's jugglers and clown monkeys. They all get like a personality to them to denote how easy or hard they are going to be.
And that's
catch.
Good for characters who don't talk. These traits, they need to be shown visually. Yeah, and they are.
No, it is everything about even the little like. I didn't expect it, but the slow-mo bits when you go trying to catch a monkey.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, the control scheme for this game is kind of a bit different. That's also a plus. Yes. You move with one analog stick, but you also swipe your net or use your gadget with the other analog stick.
Yes.
So it's kind of one side of the controller is your character, and the other side of the controller is kind of your gadgets and your looking and stuff like that.
Your actions and whatever.
But when you swing that net, and you connect, it does this like slow-mo, darkens the background, lightens up the character models, and just a slow.
It is.
It's so satisfying.
It's so satisfying. From the very first time I caught an ape, and that entire animation happened, I thought to myself, "Oh yes, hot damn, we've got a good one over here." It reminds me. It reminds me of that that animation in the first Jack and Daxter game. Or what was the second one? I can't remember. Where Jack needs to gather these floating balls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? There's these floating balls, and when he finds one, there's the exact same animation of him catching it and lifting it in the air, and it's the same satisfying feeling you get.
I know what you mean.
Yes, it's the same here. You're catching a monkey in a net, but no, the game is rewarding you appropriately.
Yeah, it really is. It's really patting you on the back with a nice slow-mo, high intense moment.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like a one of those when a game's in. I always remember Dragon Age. You know, in the Dragon Age when you're playing the game, and then sometimes one of you guys is fighting and they do a little tiny cutscene of doing a special move to kill the bad guy, and you go,
that's me.
This is one of those moments. And on the other side is that as you develop through the games, the monkeys get harder to catch.
Yeah, so you need to use gadgets.
And also when you swipe your net, they'll dodge, but in like a Matrix-esque slow-mo jump out the way, and it'll slow your movement to show the monkey jumping sideways, and you'll be like, God damn it. It's just really well done. It is,
but the game's teaching you that's how you catch a monkey, and then it's challenging you some more, so you need to use your gadgets. They don't tell you how to do it. You need to figure it out.
Yeah, it really is weirdly complex.
Yeah,
but it's so well balanced. But it's so much fun when you catch one. And this is fundamentally the entire premise of the game.
What if to bring this back to visuals? The monkeys are fun to catch. You need to catch them all in their own way using your gadgets, and this is shown to you by the monkey's design.
Yes, correct.
That is smart. I know now. It is somewhat incorporated into game design anyway.
Yeah.
But then, early PS2, this was 2002.
Yeah,
then to incorporate this into the design and not tell you, oh, this is what you do. That's smart. That's good game design.
Agreed. It's just the discovery itself, right?
Yes, discovery.
Playing. Yeah, I agreed. Another little thing that made me laugh. Yeah, again, this is very much the era of gaming where things were allowed to be more tongue-in-cheek and just silly. A lot of the monkeys, they all had names, if you noticed. Like
they
Barnabas
did.
And Albert and
I
stuff
used
like
to check them out. They've got traits as well.
Yeah, and they've got famous ones. Did you clock any of those?
No.
There's a Clint Apewood. There's a Tom Key Cruise, Count Moncula.
Oh, hilarious.
Baboon Dini. I don't know. It's silly. It is very silly. Don't get me wrong. But to add those in it just brings the charm of that era back to, it just
I missed that.
Yeah, it is so dumb and so silly, but it was fun seeing those names just pop up and be like, oh, I see what you did there. Funny. Another thing, which I know I'm a really big sucker for this, and I don't know if it's just me, it's a very weird little pandering thing. I like that when you go to the save game bit, there's a PlayStation 2 standing there in the little room. I like it when games
They don't
that.
do that anymore.
I know, right? I love the idea.
That never happens anymore.
Yeah, and I miss it. The idea that you scroll to it and it's
that.
just your PlayStation sitting there and it's literally like the little cartridge bit. A few games have done that in the past and stuff like that, and I do like it. I know the like the Mega Drive collection, if you get it for the Switch or something like that, or the PlayStation, its whole home screen is a bedroom from like the 90s
or 80s.
Just
nice.
There's just something that makes me smile about it, and I like that visually.
I think that bit, that tiny feeling right there is why Astro's Playroom is so cool.
Yes, agreed. It's that same feeling.
The game that came with your PS5.
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to explore the innards
each
of your
level is
PlayStation
filled
5.
with exactly the thingamajigs. That is nice. I really like
agree.
that.
There's something, I don't know, there's something, it's almost like fourth wall aspect that inside the game, you're saving the game on a PlayStation 2, you're playing the game on, right? It's kind of like, whoa. I don't know, it makes me smile.
Yeah.
That's about it though.
I mean, it would feel out of place in a game like, I don't know, God of War or Breath of the Wild.
Course. Yeah, exactly. It hasn't got that charm.
But I'm not playing God of War. I'm playing a popcorn PS2 game.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And that was a fun thing about the PlayStation
No, I'm not
2.
telling you to shut up.
I know that. Please. Do you think I'd let you just to tell me to shut up live on like the podcast? Nick, come on.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I just like those cool things. The game also got a handful of cutscenes that are actually not too bad, kind of well done for the PlayStation 2 era, kinda. Very
and all
like
fully
90s cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said voice acting. Should we jump to audio? Because this is one thing that...
Let's do that as a nice,
away.
clean segue into audio. They're all voice acted.
Oh, let me start off with something. Can you remember a company called... When you were kids, you're watching TV. Can you remember a company called 4Kids Entertainment? Can you picture that coming up on the screen at all when you used to watch like Saturday morning cartoons or anything like that?
No. But I mean, before this recording, you told me there's something with the voice acting, there is actors that I should be recognizing, but I don't.
The funny thing is, because I know you've watched something by 4Kids Entertainment. Now, granted, remembering that first little bit before the cartoons came on as a kid, you're not going to. 4Kids Entertainment was responsible for the English dub of two fairly well-known cartoon/anime, depending on where you sit. One of them being Pokémon, and the other one being Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, damn. All right. Yes, I've watched both of those. I
figured you had to, right? Which child didn't really watch that in that era of TV majesty, so to speak? So... because they were hired by the same company that did Pokemon, the voice acting for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, Jimmy, the character you play, is voiced by Veronica Taylor, who does Ash Ketchum and May in the Pokemon series.
Really?
Did you not get that? Did you not hear Ash straight away?
No.
I did. Instantly. I was like,
no,
wait a minute.
didn't.
I know that voice. That's Ash Ketchum. That's...
Wait, this is Ash Ketchum. This is classic Ash.
You didn't pick that up. And not only that, I delved a little deeper. Natalie, your
Natalie's voice also sounds familiar.
It's Misty.
Misty?
Misty from Pokemon. It's also Jessie and Jigglypuff. It's the same voice actress that does those. And then because I also know...
Jessie?
Yep. From Jessie and James. Oh, and did you know the professor... didn't really speak much in it, but you might recognize it because I also know you watched quite a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! In your time, right? You were a Yu-Gi-Oh! Person. He's actually the same voice actor that does Yami Yugi, the little Yugi person, and Pharaoh, the grown-up Yugi person. You know, the Pegasus. I can't do his voice. I'm not even going to try to do his
Pharaoh.
voice.
Okay,
the iconic voice he's got.
The dude who then takes over Yugi's body.
Yes, right. The when Yugi's a little boy, and then all of a sudden he's a grown ass man with spiky hair. And not only that,
Yu-Gi-Oh's weird.
This is a weird little addition. I don't really remember the name that much, but Spectre, the old white ape in this game, is played by Greg Abbey, and he does the voice of Tristan. And that's one of the voices I really can't remember in my head.
Okay, so they really are cross-pollinating.
Yeah, it was
the voice actors for their games and franchises.
But it was 4Kids animation or 4Kids entertainment. Sorry, those were the voice actors that worked for them, and they got hired as a production crew for this game, which is kind of cool. It was, like I say, just to add that nostalgia hit from the 90s was to have also your anime Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh characters voicing it. It just added to the charm. It was kind of cool.
I didn't recognize any of the voices except I got close with Natalie sounding like Misty.
Yeah, she does sound a bit like Misty.
Now that I think about it, that does make sense. That does sound like her voice.
Oh, and then another thing, as you do, I was booting up this game, and during the boot up screen, I left to go make a coffee because I thought, okay, I need a bit of coffee. I need to wake up, and we're going to be reviewing this game.
Gonna take a while.
And then I came back to the game as it was playing. And the opening song was going so hard. I was like, what is going on? Did you this? It was just.
Of course I listened to it. It's cacophonous. It's cacophonous.
I was like, whoa. That made me smile. It made me smile. I was like, whoa, this goes hard at the very beginning. I was expecting some like everybody's golf type, relaxing type. There's a Monkey Island. Wait, this is fun.
Yeah.
This was just high in octane like nonsense on the screen. It was great. I liked it.
It really, if that's the type of, I don't know if it's good, but it's cacophonous.
Yeah, it is. It's
to anyone listening to this, ladies and gents, go listen to the Ape Escape 2 opening song. There's very clearly some bongos going crazy and what sounds like a sample of a kid shouting.
Yeah.
Some unintelligible words. A kid shouting, and they use that same sample over and over and over and over again. It becomes very annoying very quickly.
It was so shocking to come back to. I really wasn't expecting it, but it kind of does match the gameplay though. You know, these apes have escapes. They are making mischief and trouble for the world you're going out to, and that song kind of just matches that energy.
Apes are loud and unintelligible.
Yeah, very much so. No, I don't know. It just made me smile.
Yeah, I can very clearly see in 2002 when kids were playing this game on the family television, dads would just shout from across the hall, turn off that racket.
Yeah, turn that. Yeah, I can see it. No, definitely. But to the child's credit,
100%.
You weren't entirely sure that was going to happen on the get go. It comes in so quickly and hard, and it's crazy. It made me laugh.
Yes.
But yeah,
and then 10 seconds later, you're listening to Misty's voice.
Yes, exactly. And the professor's pissing off to Vegas, just leaving 2 kids alone in his lab for some reason. 90s logic. I love it. I just love it.
So the music was... Oh, man. The music is something else. This is reminding me of Warrior World.
Yeah.
Which was round about the same era, I think. The voice acting was good. There's not a line of dialogue that isn't voice acted.
True.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I was shocked by that too. It's all voice acted. It's crazy.
All voice acted.
Well,
and
the main
then...
roles. Yeah.
Yeah?
The main roles were. Not all the little apes were, so I was being finicky. So you're saying...
Oh, excuse me. Yes, the main roles. Natalie, Jimmy, Spectre, Professor. Those were spoken. There wasn't a line of dialogue for them that wasn't voice acted.
No, exactly.
But I want to... say the sound effects for this game was also great. They give you a ton of gadgets that you can use for traversal, for catching, for attacking, for locating. They give you a ton of gadgets. And they've all got unique sound effects.
True.
Sound effects that make you feel like this gadget is unique.
Yes.
And I'm a big fan of when sound effects like that gets emphasis.
It's one of those things again where it's one of those where the gadgets and stuff, and we all used to them in Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Dexter and stuff like that, like you were saying earlier. But it adds to the fun of using them when the sound design is almost as balmy or as silly or as I don't know. I remember the hula hoop. You had to kind of rev up by moving your analogs, and then all of a sudden you've got that fast zipping sound like Sonic would do or whatever. No, you're right. It's
How creative is that?
Yeah, it is. It really is, and it's again just the designs of everything. The sound design for them is so much fun, and remember we're saying this, ladies and gents, as grown men. Which is, it's hard to still trigger that level of like fun and silliness as an adult. And this game does it so well. You're instantly transported back to being a little boy or little girl, depending who's playing. And it just, everything about it is just so neatly done to make you go back on that nostalgia
It's
trip.
not... Yeah, essentially that's why people still keep playing Pokemon games. Is to try and get that hit.
Oh, exactly.
Which they don't get because Pokemon games now suck.
For now. I'm hoping this will do a turnabout.
For now. A lot of people are playing narrative-driven games like The Last of Us or Final Fantasy to try and get that level of immersion or that huge epic feeling that you're saving the world that you got when you were playing the game on PlayStation 1.
Correct.
I'm trying to play a horror game so I can still try and get that same thrill that I got from playing my first couple of horror games.
Yeah, we're all
so by us saying that we are having fun with a game like this, that's saying a lot.
No, definitely. Like I said, it's and again, this was just such a shock to me because we'd heard of these games, of course. We've been in the gaming sphere for a good number of years, but never picked it up because it's just you just capture apes. No. That's just so silly. It's dumb.
You're just catching monkeys with a net.
Yeah, I'm more catching animals with a ball. That's where the fun's at. Not apes with a net. Come on.
Hell yeah.
But no, it is. It was surprisingly fun. The audio is fun and like bombastic and just it's narrated and voiced by all your characters from kids' cartoons when you were a kid. God, the nostalgia just in that alone is on another level. Really, truly. So, how about we get into the gameplay to try and dissect why this game is so fun? Very much so. Go on. Sorry. It's difficult. It's difficult to try and find out why games like these used to be so fun and why. I don't know if they're trying to recreate a game like this today. Why it isn't as fun? If I'm looking at a game like my time at Portia, which is very much almost a PS2 game. Yeah, very much so. Why isn't that fun? That's true. I'm trying to think of the last game I had fun on, like the nice child, innocent type fun. And like the first one that comes to mind, I know you loved it, was Astro's Playroom, which is only a few years old now. I was going to say Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2. That's a different type of fun. You're not wrong. I'm thinking more the innocent, not spreading democracy type of fun. The whimsical fun. Yeah. Astro's Playroom. Kind of. Astro's Playroom. I think you're right. So it is hard. It's hard. I don't even know if those types of games are even made much anymore. Granted, I give you it's not aimed at us. Probably not. Maybe they do. Pokemon's nostalgic. I'm trying to think, like, Jak and Dexter. I guess in theory... what game made you giddy with fun? Yeah, exactly. It's difficult. It is difficult because games aren't trying to do that anymore. Yeah, I agree. But Ratchet and Clank is probably the closest one, right? I never played the newer one, A Rift in Time or something. They're kind of as fun. But anyway, gameplay-wise... It Takes Two. Yeah, that's fun, but that does require the two-player thing. It Takes Two, maybe? Which is a bit... I guess. This could be a big... This could be a big conversation. It should. And one of the things about this, and I was generally shocked, was literally the control scheme. it was unique and different.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting it. I was
Oh,
expecting
damn.
just press X and you'd sweep the nets, or you just run up to them.
Yeah,
and,
this caught me off guard.
Yeah, no doubt.
This control scheme caught me off guard.
The idea, initially, with new control schemes, I always kind of like go, oh, okay, now I've got to I have to learn how to play this game. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. Because there are a few games that do the same thing, like Fight Nights, the boxing game. The analog sticks are for swinging punches. SSX Tricky, the newer one, SSX, not Tricky, had the analog sticks helped you do the flips in the air. So I played a lot of games where they do change up the controls, and it kind of gets a bit complicated and a bit annoying. But this was actually quite intuitive. That one side was you, and the other side was your nets and the gadgets, if you think of it that way. And it was intuitive, quite fun, quite easy to master too. It wasn't overly complex. But it did add another, swinging the net yourself, or even later on you get an RC car, which you get to drive around with the other analogs. All these clever little ideas tied in so well to the control schemes. I think it's so smart.
It really is. It really is. This is 22 years ago. They managed to use the controller effectively. For each gadget, it was a bit different. My favorite was the hula hoop.
Yeah, the hula hoop.
Which you get quite early on.
Yeah.
For you to just dash forward, you need to actually hula with your right analog stick. And if you want to keep your momentum, you need to keep on hulaing with your right analog stick.
Yeah, so you literally had to hula hoop. Is that hula?
Yes,
is it hula?
And it's not that easy.
No, it really wasn't. And of course, you're also controlling the perspective of the camera at the same time on the other analog stick.
Oh, that's something.
Complex. No, it was
that's something I wouldn't say was intuitive. The camera, I had some struggles with the camera.
Same. The camera's the only thing I got down as issues too.
It's a bit shit, isn't it?
It is a little bit shit.
You can't control it with your right analog stick, so what do? Oh, it's the D-pad.
Yes,
okay,
yeah, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
I just walked around and faced the direction I wanted to look at and press L1.
That's exactly what I did all the time. I was L1ing all the time, just because it's the simplest way of doing things. Yeah.
And I don't think that's what they intended.
No, I agree. It was like a little... Yeah, I agree. I couldn't... Controlling the camera and performing the moves whilst chasing down monkeys or apes. Yeah, that's a bit much. It was a bit much.
It really is.
But the gadgets are too much fun. That's one of the things. There's a banana rang. There's the net, a sonar. There's a hula hoop. There's a slingshot. There's a There's a bunch. There's like 15 different gadgets you get.
There's tons,
and they are fun.
They are fun. My question is though, how would Japan Studio fit all of that onto a controller? Right?
Yeah.
How would you just use the face buttons to control all of these gadgets? Because a more recent game had the same problem. Batman the Arkham trilogy.
Yeah, go on.
Batman also had all of these gadgets. How would you fit all of these gadgets onto the controller button layout? They figured it out a bit better than Ape Escape. Granted, that game came out 7 years later.
Yeah, no doubt.
You could move around on the D-pad, or you could use face button combinations. Like circle, triangle. Okay, shock batarang. Cross circle.
Okay, yes, somewhat. Yeah, I kind of
stun rod.
I'm remembering this. Yeah, agreed. Like a little...
Ape Escape 2's solution was very much a PlayStation 2 solution. Is in the menu you would map out 4 gadgets to the face buttons on the PlayStation controller. Yeah. Which means during gameplay you could only ever have a maximum of 4 gadgets available, of which 2 needed kind of to be the net and the stun rod.
Yes, agreed. You did.
So you only had space for 2 gadgets, really.
Yeah, correct.
That irked me.
That is annoying. Like the amount of times, ladies and gents, if you want to get to the other gadgets, you have to pause, go to gadgets go to
menu.
Gadget selection, then put them to one of the hotkeys, and then go out again to get back into the game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's certainly not efficient or smooth.
No, that breaks your pacing.
Yeah, it does. It is a shame, but I guess that was like I say, it's a PlayStation 2 issue from a long time ago.
It is.
Another fun thing I liked is that a lot of the monkeys or apes, I don't know, they had specific gadgets to catch them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like some of them were flying in the air, so you had to shoot them down with the slingshot. Some of them were far too fast, so you had to chase them down with the hula hoop.
Some
of
were
them
swimming.
Yeah, some of the swim. Oh yeah, I forgot the swimming bit. The weird little like submarine shooty swimming.
Yeah,
thing
so you had to catch them with your subnet thingy.
That was actually quite good because I liked it because it also inversed the controllers on the analog stick. So up was down and down was up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
flight controls.
It was, again, it's a game that I'd never really played or heard of. This was pushing boundaries in kind of how you did things. It was kind of...
It really was. And it's balmy to me that this is a game about catching monkeys with
I know,
a net.
right? This is like... It had the complexity and like gameplay design of like GoldenEye when it came out on the N64, right? Laser watches and sniping and change. It does have a high level of ingenuity and clever thought processes and even complex little games and even the boss fights. The boss fights were cleverer than they had any reason to be.
True, and they incorporated gadgets you just received, like, let's say, The Legend of Zelda. You know, one of the highest performing franchises ever.
Never heard of it.
I'd get the hula hoop, and then a level later, or at the end of the same level, I'd be fighting a bull. You know, like a bull, like a matador.
Yeah.
The issue is I can only damage the bull from its behind.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm not quick enough. Oh, what's this? What's this new gadget I got? It's a hula hoop that makes me go fast.
There you go.
You just do hula hoop to the backside of the bull and you smack his bottom. It's smart. It's smart. I know it's not as smart now. I don't know, 22 years later. But then, that's peak PS2 gameplay, baby. I like it.
It was like, even the first battle against the first boss, the Furious 5, or whatever those monkeys were called.
Yes.
That was a complex game level. Okay, ladies and gents, the first Furious 5 is a blue monkey. He's kind of like a policeman. He can zoom around, which I think was on a motorbike or a penny farthing. I don't know what he was hanging out on. But the level design also had traffic lights. So whilst he's running after you, he can charge you, he can throw bombs at you, but also if you walk across a section where the light was red, the section would fall underneath you. So you had 3 to 4 different things you had to manage, taking down one monkey. That was more complex than I expected this boss fight to be. I figured it was just going to be run, bam, you know, like a simple, easy win, right?
Exactly, like what people think a PS2 game made for children would be.
Yes, exactly. It should be simple, you know, easy, just more fun than it is complex, right? That game, granted, I didn't lose, but it was harder than I ever expected it to be. All the boss fights were kind of complicated.
But still fun, right? You'd be able to figure out the problem in a matter of seconds.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And then the main work would be doing or implementing your solution.
Exactly.
It's a good gameplay loop.
Yeah, it's like that very small bit, just like Elden Ring, where you have to learn the routines and the dodges and the gets out of the way. It's slightly the same thing.
And how you and your specific tool set can deal with this.
Exactly. Which is the best gadget. Yeah, no, it's so clever. It's too clever for a game about apes escaping. It's insane.
And you catching them with the net.
Yeah, it's just balmy. But but again, that's just some of the things that screams this era of gaming. There was lots of just balmy games that just worked so well. It's mental.
I would very easily put this up there with classics.
Agreed.
I think people just look it over because the initial premise is you're catching monkeys with a net.
Agreed. I'm pretty sure that's exactly, as a young man, that's exactly why I never touched it.
Why would you play this when you could play a raccoon thieving through the night, right? A man in his weasel fighting with the resistance to save the world.
Exactly. Yeah, you can almost see it, can't you? You can pick up the box and you read the back blurb, and one is like saving the galaxy, the other
Exactly.
one is stopping doomsday or whatever, and then you've got Apes Escape Monkey Park. Will you
Catch them quick.
them all and
Do
stop
it.
Spectre from... Granted, Spectre is trying to take over the world in the end, so there's some kind of end game.
Yeah, but they're not putting that on the box.
No, they're not. They're just evil Spectre. It's like I say, this game is too good for what it's supposed. Like
Yes, 100%. How? I don't get it.
Nor do I.
Some people have recognized that this game is this good.
Yes, true. If you
But
look review-wise.
they're in the minority, I think.
And there's some other stuff in there. There's some mini games if that's your jam. You unlock some mini games later on in a big gacha game as well. So more coins you collect. 10 coins a spin and you unlock... and the unlocking's fun. You unlock fables, some weird little stories for some reason. Cosmetic items, like a little Pokédex on the bad guys and the weaknesses and the like.
Yeah.
And unlock a couple mini games throughout doing that.
This
all right.
game...
Yeah.
It is fine, but this game has something that I thoroughly enjoy when games do it.
Go on.
That's a hub area.
Yes, yeah, of course.
I really like a nice, good hub area. Isn't that just you feel like you're back at your base of operations in this game that you're just enjoying. You can put your feet up and you can just enjoy your achievements inside the game. Isn't that just so right? That's Cafe LeBlanc in Persona 5.
Yeah, exactly. And as an adult now, those things are key.
Yes,
you could go somewhere safe whilst playing. So, like in your case, sort out the kids, or make dinner, or go to work, or something like that. Right? It's so important.
Majula in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
There's so many. I know this is off the bat, and you probably won't have one, but what's your favorite in every game hub area?
Ooh, my favorite hub area. Good question.
I don't know. Does Sid have an airship in Final Fantasy VII?
Well done. He does have an airship. It's not necessarily his, but he does fly it. It's kind of ours. Yeah, he has the high wind. I was thinking, my mind went straight to Final Fantasy. So yeah, you could say the high wind was a decent spot as well. They all have the little, especially when you can fly, but you always have, like I say, little safe areas where you can pause or take a break or review things and stuff. Agreed. And this has a nice, cute little one too, because... Granted, remember in this game, no quick saves and stuff like that. You still have to save every 20 minutes.
This is memory card technology.
Yeah, exactly. This is old school. So those hub areas were kind of key to keeping your sanity.
I mean, Crash Bandicoot also has those warp zones.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah.
That's a good one. There's so many.
But anyway, we digress. We'll have to discuss our favorite hub zones on Discord. Patreon.
Do we have anything else in gameplay?
No, that's about it. It's just criminally too good for what it's supposed to be.
Which is weird when
insane.
talking about a game called Ape Escape.
It is. All I can say, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, you've got to try playing this game. I know it's. I believe it's on the PlayStation subscription and under some sort of collection as well. So if you do have a PlayStation subscription,
I think it's deluxe or premium. The higher tier.
Yeah, exactly. Give it a go because it's
you know what?
Well worth it.
I've got the perfect comparison.
Yeah, go on.
Have you ever seen the 2 new Paddington movies?
I haven't. I know of them, sure.
They are way too good. Way too good for what they are.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I can imagine that they went under my radar because I don't.
It's one of those movies that can easily be categorized as a perfect film.
Oh, really? Like I said, I've not watched any of them. I know there's 2, right?
Yes. And I know. Saying that to someone who's not seen Paddington movies, you're just thinking, what are you on about? This is Paddington Bear. How is this excellent modern cinema? Well, shut up. It is. And that's exactly what I'm feeling about Ape Escape 2.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got your premise. Yeah, I agree. Really. It's one of those games you've got to tell people to play because they won't brush across it looking at the screen saying, "Oh, Ape Escape. Yeah, I'm not playing that. I'm playing Dark Souls. I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm not got that time to those kiddies game,
cool.
right? Yeah. But no, you really do have to try it.
even someone who didn't grow up with PS2 in their home, it might still kind of be a difficult sell.
Yes.
Right? If you ask someone play Ape Escape 2 or play Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is a difficult sell. Yeah, you're right. Agreed.
But people should definitely give this a try.
So performance-wise, what did you think?
I think this just had regular PS2 stuff.
Yeah, same.
Nothing other than that, though. Some textures here and there.
Yeah,
flashing,
me,
missing.
Just the camera. That was about
camera. Yeah, of course. Yes,
that's
not a gameplay issue. That's a performance issue.
Yeah.
Camera just being wonky and shit.
Yeah, it was pretty crap. But that's about it. And it is almost a cliched PlayStation 2 problem. They always, a lot of games like this, especially like a third point of view type games, did have bad cameras. I'll give you God of War had pretty amazing camera work, so
but they were fixed.
It can be done. Yeah, exactly.
But they were fixed. Like the older, I think it was up until Final Fantasy X, the cameras were fixed as well.
Yes, I'm just trying to think. Yes, it's
7,
correct.
8, and 9 had
right,
fixed cameras.
You're right. The cameras were fixed. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I think they were still figuring out how to camera at this point.
Yes, agreed.
Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, they kind of were the first ones to figure it out.
True. Yeah, let's say that's it. Performance-wise, it's just a camera. It's a PlayStation 2 game, so you're going to have loading screens. You're going to have loading screens. You're going to have a bit of a wait per thing. But apart from that, that was about it. It performed quite well for me.
Yeah, I had no issue either.
Okay, then value for money.
Value for money. This one is always... So, a PlayStation 2 game, the value for a PlayStation 2 game now can skyrocket, or it can fall flat. Although,
very true.
I like to look at the value for money for the year it released in 2002. Would this be worth $60?
Ooh. Equivalence is... The thing is...
Can be.
It's hard because you got to have that
It is
mindset.
hard.
You got to have that mindset when the PlayStation 2 came out and there wasn't other things. This was a 2, so it was a sequel. So if you had the first one, you got to buy the second one, right?
Yeah.
And let me add, this game actually does have a new game plus to it, which was kind of
it
rare
does?
for a PlayStation game.
Whoa,
yeah.
Okay.
Once you complete the whole main story, you can go back and make sure you collect all the monkeys you couldn't collect before, because they hid some monkeys on stage, which you needed some of the gadgets that you only get later to catch them on stage 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay,
and stuff
so
like that.
if that's the case, would you consider Ape Escape 2 a collectathon?
Yes, I think that is. I at its heart, I think that's what this game is.
Okay, but
It's
the actual
puzzles and collecting,
the act of collecting is the main sell for this game.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you get gadgets and stuff, and it's everything. It's all about the hunt.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what. That's why the same thing with like Mario 64 vibes, because it was always after getting the stars and the hidden stars and collecting all the
coins
little bits
and red
here
coins.
And there. Yeah, exactly.
Blue coins.
It's the same kind of thing here, where the whole premise is catching all the monkeys. That's what you want to do. The story just helps you do it, but you just want to make sure that it's 7 out of 7 or 12 out of 12, and you're like,
yeah.
No, exactly. Apart from that, value-wise, go on.
I'm obviously this was way before we had stuff like microtransactions or DLC.
True. Very true.
Super appreciative that if you buy Ape Escape 2, you've got Ape Escape 2. I like that, but this was before that time, so we can't really hold it against it or increase the score. I like the fact that after the game, you can go back, like you said, and use your new gadgets on previous levels.
Yes, exactly.
There's time trials.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, you could time
There's
trial
the little gachapon thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So they added content outside of the main game.
There is quite a lot there, which I didn't think about.
There's quite some content.
And it's not the hardest game to find if you do want your physical copies out there. They're all over eBay. They're only like $10, $12 if that's your type of thing. And like I said, you can grab it on PlayStation subscription.
If you've got PS Plus Premium, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, all the games are there. And they actually have quite a few games. Did you know they released, there's a PSP version of the game. There's the PlayStation 2 games. There's a bunch of like you said earlier, like Wario-esque games where it's all just mini games, but with the same, but built in the Ape Escape world type side of things.
Well, I can imagine Sony back then doubling down on a successful, recognizable franchise like Ape Escape.
And this really was. Don't know how we never played it, but it really was by the looks of things.
I still recognize these monkeys with their big round eyes and the hats.
Yes, exactly. The hats with the sirens on top.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd already recognized that from something. I don't know where. I never know if they crossed over to Smash Bros or something at some point.
I don't know either.
I just, like you said, I recognized the monkeys, but never played the game. It's always like a weird mind worm in my head, and I don't know where I saw them from.
Okay, but anyway, this is Ape Escape 2, a game I did not think I would enjoy as much as I did.
Same.
I was a bit shocked, but in a good way. In a good way.
No doubt. What did we rate this bad boy?
Scores. Ape Escape 2, let's see here. Our scores we put away in an enclosure because they weren't hurting anybody. But after Professor went to Vegas, little Jimmy gave them pants and hats and bananas. And oh no, our scores have been going around wild. So after we caught all our scores in a net, after some super satisfying gameplay and creative level design, our scores morphed into the letter grade rating of B-, which is a good score. Anything B or B- and above is a good score.
It's insane. Exactly. It's insane that we didn't know it. I'm happy it got a B- just because the shock of playing the game. I can't get past how much fun this game was. I was not expecting. That's the same score we gave Mass Effect and Mortal Kombat 1. And stuff. It's funny to say it, but it is what it is. This game does hold its head up high. I'm
not even mad.
No, exactly.
It's
it
good.
Really is
you
that
should
good.
try it. But yeah, thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you'd be so kind, you could leave us a review. We'd be massively appreciative. You could catch us on YouTube or Instagram or on email. I'm nick@criticalarcade.com.
And I'm Dave at criticalarcade.com.
Besides, for your email, Dave, where else can we follow you?
Well, you can find me out and about. I do wander every once in a while, but I did find myself in the possession of owning one of these special hats that Professor designed.
The siren hats.
The siren hats. And these siren hats give you the ability to control people to some degree. Just like Spectre did to the many masses of monkeys that got released. I can then control you. So depending on where you think I would go with that, like, I've got a house that needs cleaning. I've got sewage that needs to be, my gutters need to be cleaned out. Or maybe just something even weirder, like I'll just make you stand naked in the middle of the road for a bit. Or you could just not follow me. It's up to you.
Don't do that. Yeah, just don't follow Dave. Follow us on Patreon for exclusive content like Critical Cinema and our post show, which is always good.
Always.
Every single time. But always. You won't know this because you're not on our Patreon.
It's funny. It sounded like we were doing an advert for ladies' products. Always. Sorry, the way I added always at the end there just made me laugh.
Yes.
Sorry, go on.
Good.
By all means, follow us on Patreon, like you said.
Yes, do that. And also, Dave, how about you tell us, what have we got lined up for next week?
Oh, yes, next week, what are we playing? Next week we have, again, a game I don't recognize. I believe is it an indie game?
It is an indie game.
An indie game.
On modern consoles, so everyone should be able to get access to it.
Yeah, it's called Close to the Sun. I can only imagine that's got something to do with space. And, like, you can't, unless, it's
I
some
think
sort of
so.
Weird.
I think the title card's got a train on it.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have expected that. But then Honkai Star Rail kind of has the same premise.
Yep.
It sounds like Close to the Sun, like a platformer where you apply sunscreen to all the good guys to save them from burning their skin.
Don't get too close to the sun or the glue on your wings are going to melt.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's some deep philosophy.
Oh, shit. Maybe it is an Icarus story.
It could be, right? Now you say that.
Ooh.
It could really be, couldn't it?
Wow,
well, I'm excited. We don't know,
yes.
But we will find out.
I'm now excited as well. Oh, wow. Okay, well, tune in next week to hear if we cracked the code, which we probably did not.
No, very much so.
But tune in anyway. We'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.